opportunity to do the jobs that you can't do when there are hundreds of cars around. One of those is the annual wolf roundup, which is when the keepers try to round up the Canadian timber wolves to give them an all-important health check. You've nearly finished that already, but what do you do with an animal that can run 50 miles a day? Well, it certainly tests the keeper's stamina. Is that right? Was it? Good. On a bright sunny morning a couple of months ago, inside the wolf enclosure, a pack of keepers have gathered.
We're having to mobilise the whole park to come and give us hands because we have to form a line across their entire enclosure and then sort of herd the wolves in. But the house is not their favourite place, so yeah, they're going to play up a little bit, I think.
Keeper Caleb is in charge of organising the troops.
If you try and keep an equal distance apart, obviously the Canadian timber wolves, when they're cornered or when they're threatened or feel threatened, they become extremely dangerous. But our strength is in numbers because they don't like people. But if you become isolated or something, then just get to your next man and just let the wolf run past, because obviously we don't want to create a situation where you're in a standoff with a wolf. But if the wolf starts coming for you, put the stick near it and it'll bite the closest thing to it. And if it bites the stick, just let go and it should run off with it.
The posse heads into the enclosure. Some of the parked vehicles will be used to help block off the gaps.
It's always quite nerve-wracking because obviously if they start to become isolated or they feel threatened, then they become a lot more unpredictable and a lot harder to try and sort of encourage in.
The park has just 3 Canadian timber wolves: Alf, Vic and the notorious Dave. Earlier in the week, we saw how Dave has become famous for his bad behaviour.
Dave, I can see you, and don't bat your eyelids at me because you're not getting past, please. Keep going.
Seeing keepers as his subordinates, well below him in the pecking order.
I don't like this, Dave. Don't want to keep doing this.
With the vehicles in position, the keepers take their places in the lineup.
Hold your line!
The plan is to usher the wolves along the fence line and into the wolf house.
This is the worst one, this is Dave.
It's vital that all the wolves are caught, as they must have an annual health check.
Dave's coming back this way. David! Hold the line! Hey! If we just want to push round nice and slowly on the right-hand side, he's coming straight at us down the middle.
An early victory. Vic is first through the gate and into the paddock next to the house.
Okay, thanks, Hannah.
The team push forward to encourage the other 2 to follow. But Dave's going the wrong way.
Yeah. We've got one wolf in the paddock, and then we've got one just running around. One's broken through the line behind us, but we're just trying to sort of position them towards the fence line. We'll go back for Dave.
Caleb decides to focus on Alf for now.
He's coming round now. Alf's on his way round towards the paddock. He's figured out what we want him to do. Good boy. Is that 2 in the house, Hannah?
2 in the house, and we've got Alf and Vic.
Okay, we've got 2 in. Try him again round the top.
Now just Dave remains at large. Caleb sends the team back to their starting positions.
So the plan is to try and encourage him round the fence line again, and then push him back towards the house.
Time for round 2.
David! He's coming up behind you, I think.
But Dave's giving them the runaround.
David! David! Dave broke through the line again. He doesn't want to go in, so we just have to play it another round of Safari Park versus Dave.
Could it be third time lucky? Dave showing no sign of giving up.
David!
The keepers are putting up a determined defensive line, but dastardly Dave breaks through once again.
It becomes a game. Like, this is Dave's territory. Like, he loves challenges. He loves things like this. It's exhausting chasing the wolf around. Go on, David!
Wolves are built for stamina. Caleb knows they can't outrun him, but can they outsmart him? This time he wants to try a new formation, a shorter line with smaller gaps and hopefully less chance to escape.
Success! Round 4, and we did it. So yeah, it was good. A lot of running around after all.
The last patient, Dave, is in the wolf house just in time for a checkup with Duncan the vet.
Come on, Dave. That's a good boy. Good boy. Well done.
As well as their annual inoculations, this will be one of the few times that Duncan can get close enough to carry out a health check.
Good boy.
Wolves often fight to help settle disputes, but this can often lead to minor injuries, which, if left unchecked, could lead to bigger problems.
You're all done.
The wolves are quickly released back into their enclosure.
They're really happy with that. They were really calm. They all came through. It was just nice to see them. And it's also nice that we can get them straight back outside. So it's, it's really painless, and it's not a massive negative experience because they've only been in here a matter of minutes, and then they're straight back outside. So free for another